So today on Curb Your, we're going to talk about veganism with the help of clips, and let's just start, shall we?
We have gathered here today to mourn the lost lives behind us.
Yeah, this is what I don't like about some vegans, the fact that they're in the middle of a supermarket and they are protesting against people eating meat. I don't get what's the point of it. They would argue that they're trying to change people, but does it change many people? I don't know. The fact is, vegans are like religious preachers now in the middle of the street. You're walking down the street one day and you're not going, oh God, there's that person talking about faith and that I should believe in God or whatever. Instead, they're trying to say, no, don't eat meat, don't eat meat. And I think, to me, to be honest, that's just annoying.
But you find that the campaigning over the last few months has got definitely much more intense, you've noticed?
Well, for us personally, not really. We've gone about getting on with farming and doing what we do, and then it just kind of, everything changed about a week ago when we just put a nice post out on Facebook.
What was the post?
We had triplets for the first time ever on our farm.
Calf triplets.
Calf triplets.
Yeah.
Very rare occurrence
not Dulcie.
with a cow. Yeah.
And what was the reaction?
Good for the first day. Lots of nice comments, and it was just a fun little story. And then all of a sudden, one vegan quite nasty comments appeared on there, and before we knew it, it just, over the next 24, 48 hours, it just erupted into this thousands upon thousands of views and vegan comments of really, really horrible
And
things.
also quite threatening towards you and your own family.
It just got worse and worse. There was a few of our supporters and customers who put nice comments on there about the calves to begin with, and there was abuse aimed at them for buying our products, and then it just got worse and worse, and words like murderers, rapists, all of these kind of things started coming onto our feed.
Well, you have used those words, that farmers can be compared to rapists and
Okay,
murderers.
so I want to just publicly say that I condemn any death threats and any name-calling. That's not the way I advocate.
That's Joey Carbstrong now. He's saying this, but I'm pretty sure he did send out this on Facebook about 2 years ago.
How do you answer that then, as farmers?
I think it's important to talk about the terminology here because one thing that's been very apparent to us, so one of our posts has inadvertently gone viral, and this is what has made the tabloids and global news this week. And if you look through the 1,000 or so comments on this post, there are 3 words that are consistent in a lot of these comments from vegan activists: rape, murder, and slavery. Okay.
What happens to your cows?
Would you mind if I finish?
What happens to your cows when they cannot produce milk anymore? For you.
Can we
Would you
just
mind if
answer
I finish this sentence? I'm very, very happy to address.
We will come on to that one
I'm
in
very
a
happy to
second.
address all aspects of this, but would you mind me finishing the sentence? These 3 words, rape, murder and slavery, are consistent. Now, these are words that, first of all, are fairly inaccurate when applied to our farming practices. Rape is an act of sexual predation. Murder is an act of one human being purposefully killing another human being. Slavery is the enslavement of one human being by another human being.
Okay.
Now, I think that the use of these words, whilst...
So you're playing word games. Let's talk about the act. Let's talk about the act. You're taking an animal's life against their will.
What is happening?
What is that?
What is happening?
Is that moral, to take an animal's life against their will? Call it murder. Call it taking an animal's life against their will. Okay? How is that moral? It's not humane to take an animal's life.
Can I just talk about the terminology
Let's
before
talk
we
about
address
the
that?
act.
Can I just say, animals kill animals, though?
That's what I was then
so
going
how
on
does
to,
that...
Holly.
Animals rape each other in the wild too. We cannot point to nature and say that that's moral. Okay, we're a civilised society. To take someone's life against their will is savagery.
Actually,
This guy, literally, he's just so intense, and he just goes. But look at the next point, which is what I'm going to touch on.
You have to look at the human being. You have to look at the last 200,000 years and how we've evolved and what we've become. We have billions of people in this world, and everyone has to be fed. We, as human beings, eat meat and vegetables like many other species. 270-odd species on this planet eat meat, of which all of those animals very often actually eat another animal in a far worse way than actually we
don't need to for our health. We don't need to. It's unnecessary.
Just biologically, and in our development as a species, we've grown canine teeth.
Where?
Canine
Show me
teeth.
yours.
Well,
they look very flat and blunt like a cow's
no, that's
teeth.
the molars at the back.
So,
but the canines were developed to chew meat,
it's
to bite
unnecessary
meat.
to eat meat
but
to
I
be healthy.
developed teeth to do that. So why have I developed teeth to do that?
Just because you can eat an animal doesn't make it moral to do so, OK? We can be healthy and healthier eating plant-based foods.
That's true. I could be healthier eating plant-based foods, but I don't want to. And, you know, it's just, you know, it's a choice of... It's like a choice of religion. You either support it or you don't. Some people are Muslim, some people are Catholic. It's a choice, and it's a choice, but it should never be forced on you. Now, what I don't like about vegans such as this guy is that he is literally in your face, consistently in people's face.
I used to love eating meat too, but then when I realised that I was causing it by eating it, then I had to change my lifestyle.
So can one person make a difference?
Yeah, well you can save. If you don't eat animals, how many animals don't go to slaughterhouse? If you don't eat the milk that comes out of their bodies, how many baby calves don't get killed? You can't eat meat.
That's okay.
But
That's
you don't
okay.
miss out on anything. We've still got burgers, we've still got hot dogs, we've still got cheese, we've still got vegan milk, ice cream, all vegan.
And he will try and catch you up on every little thing he can. And I find him quite verbally aggressive the way he goes across. If you ever see another guy called Earthlin Ed, he's a really nice guy. He is a vegan, but then he doesn't devalue the fact that in the past we have been meat eaters, because obviously through the stages of evolution we have had to eat meat because it has helped with the evolution of man. I don't mind vegans, as I've said before, but this guy is so intense. He's like so in everybody's face, and he's actually got a page where you can donate to him, where he says, you know, I don't like doing the job which is 3 days a week for someone else's business. When I can be saving animals' lives. And I think to myself, what? I have to do 5 days a week and run a YouTube channel. Maybe you should, instead of going in the street grabbing people, just stick to your YouTube channel. Just do it from your house. But no, this guy wants to quit work and do this for a full-time living. I would like to see where he lives though, to be honest, just to verify where the money goes.
Moving parts of their bodies, has deliberately brought what appears to be the leg of a deer.
That's what they're doing.
To taunt the activists, he's brought the leg of a recently murdered deer to this dining area. You can see that it's a dining area. There's cutlery, there's glasses here. We don't even know if this is legal for him to be doing this.
Yeah, so they're protesting outside his shop, so he decided to cut an animal up in front of them. I'm afraid that's sort of fair game, isn't it? If you're protesting outside my shop and you're having a go at me for doing what I'm doing and I do it in front of you, is that really not that bad? I think this is what I mean. You can't go around ruining people's businesses because of your opinions. This is why vegans get such a bad deal, in my opinion.
Have been a strict vegan before, and then you've switched and gone back to sort of a full omnivore state. So why go back to being vegan?
So I was vegan for 5 years, and when I went back to being an omnivore, I think I realised that I wasn't that thrilled about my lifestyle. It was easier, it was much easier to get protein.
Which lifestyle weren't you thrilled about?
My non-vegan lifestyle.
Right.
But when I thought about it, my issue is none of the things I was eating I would be happy to either kill myself or work or see a place where they were being killed.
We don't have to kill the animals
I know,
ourselves.
but I think there's a dishonesty in that. I think, you know, we rely on a system that's really very unpleasant, causes a lot of animal and climate suffering. And we outsource that to people we can't see, who are usually low paid, working in really often quite horrific conditions. And I think that if you have to take responsibility for the way you live, you know, and there are lots of issues around veganism, around affordability and accessibility. But if, you know, like us sitting at this table, you have the luxury of actually having a choice over your diet and taking responsibility for your actions.
Well, look,
hold on.
Let's bring that. Wait a minute. Let's bring it in here. So look, I'm a humanitarian. I eat everything apart from humans.
Oh, I would dispute that.
I wouldn't even rule that out, frankly. Some of the guests we get on here, but let's just be serious about this. I mean, my argument about veganuary is that every month now has to be something, right? We're all getting terrorised into, you've got to be dry in January, you've got to be vegan. If people want to do this, get on with it quietly, do whatever you want to do. It's the tyranny that comes with it.
And that's the point everybody's trying to make. The point is, I don't care if you're vegan. I don't care if you're another different type of vegetarian, or if you're a Muslim, or you're a Catholic. It doesn't matter. The point is, don't put it in people's faces. People shouldn't have to go preaching on the streets to turn people to another religion or another way of eating. It's rubbish. So PETA, which is an organisation which look after animals, they take in a certain amount of animals into their shelters. They maybe not that great at all if you Google into them. This was a magazine that was handed out to people on the streets many years ago. Like, what are they, crazy giving that to people? I mean, it's ridiculous. They put so many dogs in their shelters, but then only 10% of them survive because they can't look after the other 90%. And it turns out that literally every year so far, they've killed 90% of the animals they've had in their home. Like, come on, what is wrong with people? The reality is, a lot of charities are sometimes just out for themselves. I'm not saying this is always the case, but it sometimes is the case. I just want to say a big thank you for watching this video. If you want to click and subscribe, I wasn't trying to offend any vegans. I totally get what they're saying, but what I am saying is there's a better way of coming across than in such an aggressive manner. Take care. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.